At the very bottom, he said it would say uncoachable.
Mm.
And he said that's what stopped him. And he said that he would watch. He said as time went by, he saw when I broke with the Ghetto Boys and stuff, and he was like, that's my boy, that's Willie, And he said his friends didn't believe him and all that stuff. So now they believe him because now we connected. But it was just sad, man, because like I say, he was the greatest basketball player I ever saw with my own eyes. This guy was automatic, and it was his attitude that he admitted that held him back. And there's so many youngsters out there. I got another friend that was like that. He didn't get that far, but he was a really, really good basketball player too. But his attitude it stunted his growth.
I was one of the best football players in the country. Coming out of high school, I felt like I can play with anybody. My grades wasn't that well. That's why I went to Savannah State. If I'd have stayed on the straight and narrow, I felt like I could have went pro too. But God always has something for you, and to see somebody I played with go pro from a small school, jumping over people's heads, Sharp played receiver. He was going against
somebody you shared the locker room with.
And laugh with and joke with and, timing of. We had the best team Savannah State will ever have. We
won the championship.
I think we lost 2 games one year. We were supposed to be in the NCAA Division II playoffs. And I think a week or so before we was getting ready to go, they said we couldn't go because we didn't have a girl tennis team. They pulled the rug from under us. It was the most, I think everybody on our team cried. Sharp, everybody. Because we worked so hard to get there. And, that's how they do. They raise the bar.
Move the goalpost.
That's what it's called, move the goalpost. And that's what they did. But, I always take my actions in my hand. I know what I do. I'm able to say I did it and how you move on from it. You can't go backwards and say what you should have did and who you could have been. You can only live for who you are right now. And I'm a bad motherfucker on stage, And thank God I got into them fights. Thank God I was, I got into trouble because it got me into a place where I did Def Comedy Jam and Apollo on the same weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I worked at Teen Summit.